Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Today we are looking at Mad Monkey hostels, in particular the Mad Monkey in Cebu City, not very far from where I presently live, and I think one of the newest locations. They have a very talented crew, obviously, very friendly and helpful, and several options for rooms as well. They have dorm rooms for two, for 4, 6, and 8 people, I believe, and then they have some private rooms as well. This location has a bar and restaurant up top with a number of activities going on different nights, and they have a pool up there as well. I will tell you a little bit about the other locations and facilities and some of the prices here a little bit later. They do not have an elevator at this location. A lot of backpackers use these types of places, saves money. I can see this place from where I live actually, and I was wondering what it was. I could see the pool, so I walked over there and checked it out. And they were nice enough to show me around, show me some of their rooms. And this, I believe, is a 4 bunk room, and you can rent it with friends or you can rent a bed. I think my understanding is you rent a bunk and you don't know who your bunkmates will be, if you will have any, depending upon if they have them rented out as well. But you have a partition, you have a outlet and a little light up there. There's aircon in the room. I believe all the rooms here have aircon, and you have individual lockers there, so bring a padlock. And then you have a common CR for the people in that room, as well as a hot water shower. That is important to some of us tender-skinned foreigners. And clean place, relatively new, less than a year old, I believe, at this point in time. And no alcohol in the room. It's one of the rules. Not sure how they police that, but they've got a number of things. I'll show you up to the bar here in a bit. And as I said, I think they have 10 private rooms as well here, and they're adding on. And this would be a private room. And I'll show you some prices later. And I think you can get a private room with twin beds as well as the single bed there. And they're again nice enough to put a picture on the wall. Each side has an outlet and a little reading lamp, so that's convenient and nice. Well thought out, and shades on the screens and lockers again. I believe every room has lockers, even these private ones, which kind of surprised me. And they've got house rules, of course. You can read those if you wish. And there again, hot water in the shower. Looks like they even supply soap there. Mad Monkey is marketed towards backpackers, and that seemed to be the huge majority of the people who were there. Europeans, Americans, and they seem to be having a good time. Everybody doing their own thing, traveling and touring across the Philippines and Southeast Asia. They've got these in Australia, Cambodia, Thailand, a number of other countries, and I'll show you that map a little later. I actually heard this place before I saw it, and I stepped out on my balcony and said, "Where is that noise coming from?" And I finally identified this place over here, and every night, pretty much every night, early evening, they crank up the music quite loud, and it travels very far. And if there's one thing I would suggest is I'm sure their neighbors would appreciate it if they turn the volume down about half of what it is, at least half or a quarter, because that sound travels. And I'm about 4 blocks away, a building right over there, and it's very loud. And fortunately they turn it down by about 10 p.m. I think every night they turn it down. One other thing they do, this is the restaurant pool area. There's a pool right there. And one thing they do is they offer their guests complimentary earplugs. Now, if you're getting up very, very early in the morning, even with earplugs, that noise has got to be a major issue trying to sleep there. Because I know it's a noise issue for people who live within at least a kilometer of the area. Uh, it's all open up there, and they crank that music up, and it travels far and fast. They do have some interesting artwork as well. Kudos to the artist who drew all those pictures, painted all those pictures. Now, how much does it cost? The big question. With so many choices at Mad Monkey Hostels, let's look around their website a little bit here. And a number of choices: Cambodia, Thailand, Philippines, Australia, Indonesia, Laos, group stays, deals and offers. And they have guides for the different areas, apparently. Got a blog, adventures, I think that's tours and such. So let's go here since we're in the Philippines. Let's go over here to the Boracay, El Nido, Cebu City, and Surigao opened recently, I believe. So let's take a look at Cebu City, and I'm not sure what their rates are. And when I asked, they said it really depends upon the season, and that's what I've mentioned so many times, is that I hate to give out rates because it really depends upon when you're going to be traveling. Hotel rates go up and down daily. So let's just pick a day about a week out. Let's pick a Tuesday and just a one night stay. And let's see what our rates and what our options are here in Cebu. Of course, they could change depending upon which location you're at. And so here's our choices here. And they have private rooms as well as dorm rooms. So a basic dorm room for four, 650. Maximum people four. Now is that 650 for the group, or is that 650 per person? I'm absolutely not sure. Female dorm room, and they have 4 beds. They have 6 bed dorm rooms. They have 8 bed dorm rooms. Standard deluxe, 1,300 for 2 people. Private twin, that would be 2 beds, and 1,100. Twin bunk, if you don't want to sleep in the same bed, 1,300. Private triple, so I think 2 or 3 beds, it looks like 1,800. Private quad for 4, so that would be 1,600. That would be 400 apiece, basically. And premium double, 1,500. So those are some of your choices. Those are the prices on that particular day in 2019. They have a number of activities in their bar each night, I believe, and interesting information at their desk. Very important information: basic transportation costs, bus transport, and they have Cebu South destinations. Cebu to Oslo, 150 to 200, leaves hourly. Now, all this stuff is subject to change. There are usually air-conditioned buses available and non-air-conditioned buses available. And in a given time, I can't tell you what's going to be available for your trip. I've taken a couple air-conditioned buses, and they were actually quite cold. I was glad that I had a hooded sweatshirt along I could put on. Try to stay warm, but I've never liked cold weather. And I've taken a number of non-air conditioned buses, and as you're traveling, depending upon where you're seating, if you got the sun coming in on your side, it can get very hot. But my rides have been reasonably comfortable, and with the air blowing, the windows down, pig down. In one trip, there was a pig squealing quite a bit of the way down in the storage compartment underneath. And here's some information on buses going north as well, and I'll show you some information on ferry prices. Another option at the bus terminals and different terminals is V-hire, what they call V-hire, van hire, 12 to 15 passenger uh, vans, and they can get quite crowded as well, just like the buses, especially on holidays and weekends. You're going to be stuffed into those vehicles, whether it's a bus, a van, or a ferry. And here is some ferry price information and some of the hours that they run. There again, this can change, and weather can disrupt these schedules. The Coast Guard can shut down the ferry ports, different parts of the Philippines, so it's not uncommon, especially now that we're in typhoon season. They're expecting, I think, 2 to 4 typhoons in August to hit possibly different parts of the Philippines. That can affect the seas and that can affect ferry traffic. So it is possible that you could get stuck at a ferry terminal for a day or two. Ferry companies also often run different types of promotions, so you might find something like that depending upon where you want to go to. So an interesting place and an option for some of you. And the staff was friendly and pleasant. The rooms were clean, and although they're not a tour company, they do work with tour companies. Like so many hotels work with tour companies to help facilitate and set you up on various tours, and they do too. I've been in here a couple times, and each time there's a different place. Mole Bowl this particular time, Kawasan Falls for 2,800 pesos. So they can help you get involved in different trips, different parts, or you can just travel on your own and work out the tour information. They do have a ATM that takes foreign cards right on site. That's convenient. I just did a video that where we talked about not being able to use your ATM on many islands because there's not an ATM. The ATM that's there, it's either broke or doesn't take foreign cards. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please like the video, share the video, please subscribe. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and I'll see you next time.